YouTube viewers and random Ghostbusters fans, and welcome along to day 2 of Ghostbusters Week, where I'll be taking a look at the 6-inch MattyCollector figure of Ray Stantz.
Who you gonna call? Someone else.
No. That is not how a Ghostbuster acts.
As a duly designated representative of the city, county, and state of New York, I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension. That ought to do it. Thanks very much, Ray.
Much better. So anyway, let's start off as per usual and talk about the packaging, which, as you can see, is the same packaging that Venkman came in and all the other 6-inch figures come in. So you've got the big No Ghost logo there at the top, the Terror Dogs here, which adorn either side. You've got Ray Stantz written there at the bottom, and of course, if you take a look there, you can see the Marshmallow Man in the background with Ghostbusters written across the top. And I do like what they've done with this figure. I like the pose they've put him in the packaging. Looks very nice, very action-esque. And of course, the packaging shows off the figure and its accessory very, very nicely if you want to keep it in its box when it's up on display. So that pretty much does it for the front of the box. So around the back here, again, it's the same sort of design with the messy office desk there, and the only real difference is, of course, the little bio file here, the personnel file on stands, so you can see all these little jokes and references to the movies in there, all looking very, very nice. So that pretty much does it for the packaging and the box in general. So let's open it up and take a look at Stantz. Okay, so here we go, and taking a look at the detail, the face sculpt looks really, really nice. You can see there, it really does resemble Dan Aykroyd from the first film. So that is highly impressive considering all the size of this figure. That looks great. So the hair sculpt looks great. It's got this glossy paint on it. You can really see like kind of like the brush strokes really in his hair. So that looks really, really nice. Even the face sculpt itself, if you take a look there at the eyes, the nose and the mouth, all really does resemble Stantz from the first movie in the ears there. So that looks really, really nice. So apart from that, this figure is kind of the same as all the other figures with a few subtle differences. So if you take a little look-see here, if my camera will ever focus, you can kind of see there that the name tag actually says Stantz, which is nice. And also if you take a look on his belt there, you can see some gloves hanging from his belt, which means that his hands are ungloved, and we get a nice look at his hands, which again are exceptionally well detailed. So you can see the individual fingers there, the knuckles, even a few veins and stuff on the back of the hand. So all that's on, and all that's looking very, very nice. And then the hose here that's hanging down off the back of the jumpsuit is a clear kind of colour here, as opposed to the yellow that it was on Venkman. And of course, his boots are actually tucked into the jumpsuit, so it gives you a nice look at the actual boots themselves. And you can see all the laces running down there, and on the underneath as well, you can see the underneath of the feet. And all looks very, very nice. And even you can see there the proton packs on his back as well. And it is the same proton pack that, again, we saw with Venkman and all the other figures, which looks really, really well detailed. You can see the ribbon wire and bits and pieces of gadgetry and stuff in there. So it all looks very, very nice. And even the proton gun itself is on there and looks great. And also you've got the No Ghost logo there too. So when it comes to detail, this figure looks excellent. So articulation-wise, well, the head can do the full 360 twist. It can kind of move side to side and forward and back on this ball joint, but not too much. The actual arm spins 360 degrees on the shoulder and can come out at 90 degrees, but it is a little bit stiff. And then again, you've got the forearm 360 there as well. And there's also a little tab that allows it to come in and out at 90 degrees. And of course, the wrist rotates the full 360 there too, so that's very, very nice. Let me just pop this back down. There we are. There is some waist articulation, but it is hindered by the shape of the mold on his belt because of all the gadgets and things hanging off it. So it can go the full 360, but I wouldn't recommend it because it can scrape and scratch the paint off the figure very, very easily. There's a lot of articulation on the legs here, so he can bring both legs out and do the splits. There's also a little joint here at the top of the leg, which allows the leg to spin the full 360. The leg can also come out roughly around 45 degrees and bend again at 45 degrees. And then full 360 here at the top of the boot. And then there's a little bit of ankle pivot here, forward and back, which really aids whenever you have them up on display and keeps it nice and stable. So the articulation is excellent and surprisingly far superior to the articulation that we saw on the Venkman figure. Taking a look at accessories now, Stantz comes with this, which is the little No Ghost logo, which of course is 3D. And I really like that touch. It looks very, very nice and is detailed very, very well. And, you know, this No Ghost symbol was, of course, designed to be two-dimensional and not three-dimensional, but somehow it works. It looks really, really great. And naturally, as with the Venkman and Slimer figure, this also comes with a little transparent base. So you just click it onto the plastic base here, and you can have it then up on display. And that looks really nice, especially when it's sitting next to some of these MattyCollector figures. So if you have them up on display out of their packaging, it looks really, really nice and sets off the collection really well. And the best part about it is it also glows in the dark. The little ghost glows in the dark. So that really sets off the collection. If, again, you have them up on display and you have this little No Ghost symbol, really does look excellent. And doing a size comparison, you can see that the Ray Stantz figure fits in very nicely with the other 6-inch Ghostbusters from the MattyCollector line. So, all in all, what do I think of this figure? Well, I really like it. I like the detail on it. I love the face sculpt. It looks much better than the Venkman figure. It really does look like Stantz. It looks a lot like Dan Aykroyd. It looks great. Again, the detail on the actual figurine, can't complain about it. It looks fantastic. The articulation, again, is vastly improved. A lot more articulation on this figure, which is a definite plus. Again, love the box, which I said, of course, in my last review. And I love those little bio sections on the back. That little file looks wonderful. The accessory, this little ghost figure here, the little No Ghost logo, does look really, really nice and looks excellent up on display. However, I would have preferred it, along with this little No Ghost figure, that they'd also included maybe two of the accessories that Stantz is famous for, notably the Ghost Trap and the Ecto Goggles. So it would have been nice to have seen those included. Now, those are available as well. Traps come with the Rookie and the Zedmore figure, and also a pair of those Ecto Goggles also come with the Rookie figure. So if you do pick those up, you can put those on your Stantz figure and complete the look, really. But it would have been nice had those been included with this figure. But again, that's just nitpicking, and it doesn't really concern me. So overall, I do like this figure, and I think it looks excellent. So that pretty much does it for this review. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's countless more reviews online. Thank you again for watching. Remember to keep following the nerd, and stay tuned, because tomorrow I'll be reviewing the Winston Zedmore figure. He's the average Joe of the team, but is this just an average figure? Find out next time.